live. Okay, now we're doing the animation. We are working from the first page at the bottom of the page where we're going to start off with, where are you? At the bottom of the page. Don't ask me why I did my numbering this way, but at the very bottom of the page, it says, finally, we get to animate this graphic. If you have any panes open, like this guy here, close it off. Okay. Then we're going to go to the animation tab. Then we're going to go and click on the animation pane. And this guy actually will stay open now for the entirety of what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so everybody's watching me, nobody's doing anything. So the first object I'm going to click on is the top circle, or the Monday. One left click. Then I'm going to add my first animation. And I need to tell you, it's going to be very underrated. So a lot of these animations, you combine them together, they look good, but when you first look at them, they kind of look very bland. So I've selected Monday. Then in the animation group, I'm going to click on fade. Told you it's nothing to write home about. That is a simple entrance. It means it comes in, so it fades in. Now the next step is going to be, and I'm quoting, we want to dramatize this to add a bit more. So we want to make it a little bit more oomph, okay? A little bit more pizzazz. So we're going to add a second animation, and it's going to be the grow shrink animation. And we do that by, remember I told you, first only ever click once over here, and everything else is over in the add animation. So add animation, emphasis, and grow shrink. Well, a couple of things. A, it kind of stops suddenly, and I'm going to flip over to the second page. I'm going to start off with instruction number 9 on page 2. Looks good, but it seems to be expanding far too much. Okay, so the next part is the one part you want to be very careful about. No, not very. It's fiddly. It's not difficult. It's just simply fiddly. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we select the animation. So remember, we have the animation pane open. And and I don't know if you guys can see this or not. There is an arrow on the very right-hand side of the orange shape. There's a little arrow there. You're going to left click on it. I'm going to left click on it. You guys are going to watch me embarrass myself. Okay. So there is the shape that I'm actively in. So if I'm doing it, you can see that it's highlighted and it's orange. So I'm going to click on the little arrow to the right, and I'm going to go down to Effect Options. Effect Options. From the Effect Options, sorry about the noise in the background, there's a couple of things we've got Effect, Timing, we don't care about that. Text Animation, we don't care about that, but we do care about the Effect. So Effect, there's two things we're going to do here. Number one, and this next step is key. And if you're writing down your own notes, I'm going to make sure you guys write this down. So select the size option. Size. Right now it's 150. It's too big. So we're going to click on the arrow. And so we want to put our own custom size in. Not smaller, not tiny, not large, not huge, custom. And we're going to type in the value 125, and we're going to press the enter key. If you don't press the enter key, it won't stick. Do you guys remember when we do the properties and we go in, we do the tags, and every time I say to you, type in the word type in your tags and press the enter key? same thing. If you are in Word, you were told the same thing. In Excel, the same thing. So what you're going to do is click on the custom. And the key to this is type in the number and press the enter key. 1, 2, 5, and enter. That confirms it. If you don't, it doesn't stick. Then the only other thing we have to do is auto reverse. What does that do? It opens up and it closes itself afterwards. And okay. Okay. Close, but we're not quite there yet. Okay. So there's two more things we have to do, and I understand this is different for you. I will find the pages in the book for you so you can read it. So there's two more things. When does it start? And how long does it last? We want it to start the same time. So start with previous. So when the fade comes in, it's almost like, remember I told you we've got Georgette, we've got Lisa racing. They both start off at the same time. Okay? I think it's okay to say that. Nobody knows who you guys are. So Deborah and Deborah race, and Deborah goes first. So start with previous, and the duration. How long is it going to take to grow and shrink? It's going to be 2.0. Okay, let's check this out. Not bad. When you put that all together, it's a really nice process. We got the first guy done. Now we're going to do the connector arm. So I'm going to click on the first connector arm. I see a yellow circle here and a yellow circle here. So I know that the connect arm is between this circle and this circle. Okay. So the animation they want us to use is, again, it's an entrance and it's wipe. Okay. We want it to go from, because it's going to go in a clockwise direction. So we want the arrow to go from Monday to Tuesday. The next arrow we want to go from Tuesday to Wednesday. The next arrow we want to go from Wednesday to Thursday and Thursday to Friday. So we want this arrow to go from top down. And we do that by something called effect options. Effect options. And we want to go from the left. You could do the top, but from the left. Ooh, just like that. Okay. So it's wiping from the left. How do we want it to come in? Do we want to come in by a click? Do we want to come in with the previous stuff, or do we want to come in after the previous stuff? We want it to come in, oh shoot, they want it wiped from the top. Okay. Yeah, from the top. Okay. And when you're looking at my animation pane, or you look at my video, you're going to see that you only want to see one little mouse click, and you want to see that guy at the beginning. Everything else is going to be animated. So number 2, we want that to start after the first guy's done its thing. So imagine, if you can, after previous, if you've got a lot of people doing a presentation. So person A has come in and done their thing, after which person B is going to come in and do their thing, after which person C is going to come in and do their thing. So that's what they mean after previous. You see a little clock here. Let's go preview, grow, shrink, and arrow. Okay, so now we're going to do something very similar to the other 3 regular circles or the little circles. And we're going to do something very similar to all the connector arms. Okay. So the reason you want to have this recorded is that way you can stop and start and stop and start. You do it at your own pace and you don't need to have me hovering over your shoulder. So I'm going to click on the Tuesday and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply as I say, fill your boots with animation. So I'm going to be a little bit more exact for that. We've done the wipe. Shoot. Oh no, I made a mistake. How can I get rid of that? Uh-oh. Help, help, help. Don't say anything, guys. I made a mistake. Silly me. Click on the arrow and remove. Try that again, Deb. Click on Tuesday. Grab fade. That's better, eh? Don't say anything. Okay. And when do we want it to come in? After previous. Okay. And if anybody's panicking going, I'll never remember this, you will after you practice it. So start after previous. Okay. And one of the things that you guys are going to notice is a little pattern is going to appear in our animation pane. And if you see the yellow, green, green, yellow, green, green steps, then you know you're doing it right. Okay. So we clicked, it Monday came in, it faded, not anything else. Then we applied the second animation, add animation here, and it was the grow shrink. With the grow shrink, we changed the percentage to 125, and we made sure that it wrapped itself up afterwards. Okay, so now we're going to click on the second guy here. Add animation. Remember, it's the second one. Add animation. Grow shrink. Yeah. Okay. And start with previous. Remember, fade and grow shrink go together. And what else do we need to do? We need to go to our special arrow, effect option. Remember, there's two things we need to do here. The first thing is we have to change the size from 150 to 125. We click on the arrow to the right of 150. We go down to where it says custom. We double click on the 150. Then we type in 125, press the enter key. If you don't press the enter key, it doesn't stick. Trust me, this is the voice of experience here. Enter. And auto reverse. So once it's done its thing, you want it to pack itself up afterwards. And okay. So you're beginning to see a pattern, eh? So now we're going to add another animation. So click on the thing that you want to animate, which happens to be this arm. Yellow between the Tuesday, yellow between the Wednesday. It's going to be, which one is it going to be? It's going to be wipe. And we want to have it wipe down, I think. I'm doing this without the instructions. Wipe. Effect options is going to be from the top. When do we want the wipe to go? After the Tuesday's done. Start after previous. Let's have a quick look from the beginning, shall we? Just so we know. Grow, shrink, fade. You notice it says multiple. arrow goes down, grow, shrink, fade, arrow goes down, and that's where we are. Okay. So now we're going to click on the Wednesday, do exactly the same thing as we've done before. You're going, I have no idea. My eyes are crossing, Deb. So what we're going to do is first animation is fade. Second animation we always add. That's going to be the emphasis. Grow, shrink. Okay. I will come back and make sure all my timing and after and all that kind of stuff, because I see two mouses here. I'm going to get to these guys in a second. So I got that. I've got the fade. Is there anything else I need to do? Let's just make sure play from. Okay, so yeah. So I know what I need to do. Effect options. Size is going to be 125. Double click. Remember, enter. And the second thing is the auto reverse, because you want it to wrap itself up afterwards. Okay. Now, I don't want to go any further, so I want to make sure that, hurry up. This guy here is what? All right. So this one is going to be start after previous. And this guy is going to be start with previous. And if you're learning this, again, don't say anything, but when I was learning it, this was the most difficult concept for me. Is it on a click, after previous, or with previous? That was the one that always gave me the most difficulty understanding what it is. Okay. So then I'm going to click on my third connector, yellow to yellow. It's going to be wipe. And I want it to appear after my circle. So start after previous. What order, what direction we want it to go? Probably from the bottom. I'd say it's a pretty safe bet. Is there anything else? I don't think we worry about the speed or anything. Yeah. Okay. So anytime you see two animations together, you'll only see one doohickey. I don't know what to call it. Okay. You've got the mouse, and then you've got these two guys. Block, freeforms. Then you got the timer, two guys. Timer, two guys. Block. Okay. So then I'm going to click on Thursday. I'm going to come back and do this again a little faster. Okay. And fade in. I want it to come after my arm has finished doing its thing, after previous. Then I want to add my second animation. Add animation. It's going to be the grow shrink. I want this guy to go on exactly the same time, so I'm going to say start with previous. So those two guys go exactly the same time. Duration is 2. Is there anything else I need to do? Oh dear, I can't remember. Let's check it. Let's check on this guy. So I've done the grow shrink. And make sure that's done. Now my problem is, because I'm stopping and starting, I'm beginning to second guess myself. So bear with me for a minute. Effect 125. So I promise you, after I've done this once, I'm going to come back and do it again. Enter. Auto reverse. Okay. Now I'm going to click on my final connector arm. Yellow to yellow. Wipe. And I want it to wipe up. It is. When do I want it to do? Go after. The middle guy, you can do anything you like. Doesn't make a difference. Pick any animation you like. I'm just going to do swivel just because. And it's going to be start is after previous. Okay. So starting, I want to make sure there's only one mouse button there on my icons on the left. Let's go and preview. In, out, line. In, out, line. In, out, line. In, out, line. And as we go through it, you're going to see that things happen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one more time. And I'm going to be a little bit faster about it this time. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I've deleted all my animations, so I'm going to do it a little faster. So take 2. Just hang tight. I'll be about 3 minutes getting this part done. Now you know what to expect. Now you won't know what to look for. Now this time it's going to make a little bit more sense. Okay. So step number 1, we've broken everything down. We've got the animation pane open, and we're going to start off with a Monday. So the first animation we're going to be doing is the fade. Okay. And the fade comes in. It does its thing. That's all we need to do. Nothing more. Then we want to add a second animation, and we do that by clicking over here on Advanced Animation Group, Add Animation, Grow Shrink. Okay. When does the grow shrink start? It starts exactly the same time as the fade. So both those guys start off exactly the same time. So our start is with previous. Come on, Deb, you're a trained professional. And what else do we want to do to the grow shrink? We want to change we want to do the 2 things to the grow shrink. So we're going to go to the arrow to the right. We're going to go down to Effect Options. Size. We're going to click on the little arrow. We're going to double click on Custom and type in 125 and press the Enter key. Then we're going to click on the Auto Reverse and OK. So we have our first object done. Now we're going to click on the connector arm. Yellow to yellow. Wipe is the animation we're going to use. When do we want it to appear? After the other guys have done their thing. Imagine if you've got a presentation or a presentation of some kind. Who goes first? Who goes second? Who goes third? This is number 2. And so that is going to be start after these guys have done their things, so after previous. What direction or effect do we want? We want it to be from the top. It should be from the left, but from the top, I think. Okay. I think that's a little fast. If it was me, I'd probably change my duration to 2, but that's not me. It's not me to decide. So let's see. 1, 2, oh, perfect. So I've got the first 2 objects done. Now I'm going to click on my Tuesday circle. first animation is going to be fade. When does that come in? After the arm. So start with previous. Sorry, start after previous. And if you ever listen to me do this, you'll actually hear me say this after this, before that, on this. Okay. Then I want to add a second animation. Remember the grow shrink one? Add animation. Emphasize or emphasis. Grow shrink. When is this guy going to happen? It's going to happen exactly the same time. So start with previous. Now I need to come back in and do some work over here on the little arrow. Effect options. My size is going to be 125. That is custom. Double click on the custom box. Apparently not very well. 1, 2, 5. Not 4, 5. Enter. I want to make sure it wraps itself up afterwards. Auto reverse. And OK. So we've got circle, arm, circle. Now we're going to do our second arm. Click. Yellow to yellow. So which one are we going to do? Wipe. What direction is it going to be? From the top. All right. When is it going to come in? After previous. Perfect. Now, okay, I'm not going to do it. So now I'm going to select Wednesday. Step number 1, fade. When does the fade happen? After previous. Start after previous. Does it matter in which order we do this? Not really. When do we want to add a second animation? Yes, we do. And we're going to go add animation. We're going to go down to emphasis, grow shrink. You guys are going to be sick of my voice by tonight. In the grow shrink, start with previous. And a little arrow on the right. Effect options. What is the size going to be? 125%. It's going to be custom. So we're going to highlight the numbers. 1, 2, 5, enter. Don't forget to click on the auto reverse because we want it to tidy up after itself. And OK. So you can see there's a pattern developing here. Green, yellow, green, green, yellow, green, green, yellow. And so that means now I can click on my arm. Yellow dot to yellow dot. Wipe, and we want it to wipe up. So wipe. When does it come in? After Wednesday. So start is after previous. The effect option is from the bottom. Looks good. Now we're going to do our almost last circle, which is Thursday. Click anywhere on the object. You know the routine. Step number 1, fade. When does a fade happen? It happens after the arm. So let's go fade, timing, start, after previous. Okay. And if you ever have like a brain freeze or brain fart, remember, you're looking for 2 little boxes here, 2 little boxes here, 2 little boxes here. There's only one here, so we know we're going to go to add animation. Grow shrink is in the emphasis. And if you do make a mistake, delete it and don't try and fix it, guys. Whatever you do, you want it to start with previous. So those 2 guys do the same thing, do that thing at the same time. And I'm going to go into our little effect option. Size is 125%. Custom. 1, 2, 5 and enter. Make sure it cleans up after itself. Auto reverse. Okay. We are almost done. Click on our last arm. Yellow to yellow. Wipe. When does it come in? After Thursday. So let's do start after previous. Alright. What direction is it going to come in? We want it to wipe or come up. So my effect options from bottom. Good enough. Now you got the circle. Hopefully I've not made any mistakes. I'm just going to grab any random animation. Let's do bounce. That's nasty, but we'll do it. When do we want it to come in? After previous. Everybody else has done their thing. After previous. Okay. Now I'm going to do a check. There's only one mouse. Yes. And every time you see the freeform, there's nothing. Freeform, nothing. No clock. Freeform, no clock. Freeform, no clock. And freeform, no clock. So we're good. Let's give it a go. Preview. In, out, arm. In, out, arm. In, out, arm. Now you can see it kind of doing its magic over here. Now we're going to do that. I'm going to save it.